Hello everyone, welcome to another review. And you all remember the first review we did. The first review we did was Spider-Man, and that one didn't do that well. Well, it was our first review. But today's review, we're going to be reviewing its sequel, Spider-Man 2. So yeah, enjoy it, and yeah. Spoilers like always, but just enjoy it anyway. Spider-Man 2 was not only considered as one of the best Spider-Man movies ever made, but also one of the best superhero movies ever made, and one of the best sequels ever made. Spider-Man 2 was released in 2004 and directed by Sam Raimi, just like from the first movie, and pretty much almost everybody from the first movie returned for this one, with some new characters, and that. It starts on a cool opening sequence of recapping from the first movie, and we see Spider-Man doing his most important job ever, delivering pizza, and also using his iconic line that's now a meme. No, yeah, it is a meme. It's pizza time. Peter got fired from delivering pizzas because he got here late, and because of Spider-Man stuff. And back at Daily Bugle, he couldn't get his own pictures of Spider-Man done because he's tired and everything. It's interesting how we see Peter struggling on life by balancing both different lives, being Spider-Man and being Peter Parker. Like, being Spider-Man was easy for him because he gets to save people. It's hard to be Peter Parker because he has to go to work, go to school, and do normal stuff. But he's always being late for work, being late for class, and not being there for his friends, even forgetting his own birthday apparently. That night, Peter comes back home to Aunt May and discovers that Aunt May, Harry, and MJ threw a birthday party for him, which he completely forgot about. And Harry still being vengeful on Spider-Man because he thinks Spider-Man killed his dad. And also. Oh, sorry, I was just eating some pizza because all this talking about of pizza time made me want to have some pizza and some nice Coca-Cola. So yeah, well, I'm not going to talk about it right now. I'll finish my pizza then review. Go to the other guys who are going to talk about it. What's interesting is that after the party, Peter sees some letters from the bank about their house being repossessed, and wakes up on sleeping Aunt May and saying that everybody's gone, which a lot of us think that she might be referring to the party. But when you really think about it, she may be referring to all the people in her life gone. After that, we get a recreation of the scene with Peter and MJ talking in the backyard, and MJ saying that she's meeting somebody. And after that, Peter goes to his apartment to avoid paying his rent to his landlord, and it's funny. The next day, Peter goes sees Otto Octavius about answering his new machine, the fusion reaction, and also Peter worries that Otto has miscalculated, and Otto giving advice on using poetry, and telling him that he's brilliant but lazy. Later that night, he decided to go see MJ's play, but gets interrupted by a crime and has to do Spider-Man stuff to stop that crime, which in the result ended up him being late for her play. Peter ended up missing his play, and then crime happened, went to be Spider-Man, but then when he was swinging, he started losing his powers and has to take the elevator. And the reason why he's losing his powers is because of the existential crisis that's happening to him. The next day, he calls MJ to apologize, and he even tried to reveal himself as Spider-Man. And during that day, he went to see the fusion reaction Otto made, while also introducing his assistants, the mechanical arms that are made with AI. What's interesting about the arms is that they're actually a mix of CGI and animatronic puppets that they use behind Otto's back. Another thing about the arms is that Otto uses an inhibitor chip behind his head to protect his brain from letting these arms controlling him, because the chip is used for him to control the arms instead of them controlling him. During the presentation, he showed his machine while putting in the tritium for his machine, which created a sun, a small sun. But during that, something went wrong. Metal starts going through it, and Spider-Man saved Harry. Spider-Man tried to shut it down, but then Al stopped him. Then Al's wife got died, and then he got electrocuted, which led to his inhibitor chip to fry up. But Spider-Man saved the day by turning off the machine, and it exploded. Otto got sent to the hospital, and the doctors tried to remove his arms, but the arms killed everybody in the room just because the doctors were doing their job. Otto sees all this and screams no, in which Darth Vader was later stealing Revenge of the Sith, and goes into hiding with the arms. The next day, the Daily Bugle tried to figure out what to name Otto since he's now turned evil, and they all suggest Dr. Octopus, Science Squid, and Doctor Strange. And interestingly, Doctor Strange actually exists in this universe apparently. Probably not a Sorcerer Supreme, but probably just a surgeon like how he used to be. We see Doc Ock again in his old shed, grieving and being depressed. And the arms talking to him like snakes and telling him that they should rebuild the machine with more tritium. So they decided to go to a bank to steal money. Doc Ock robs a bank. Spider-Man tries to stop him, but then Doc Ock kidnapped Aunt May, and Spider-Man tries to save Aunt May. They start fighting. They started fighting. Even Aunt May even defended herself against Ock, and Spider-Man saved Aunt May and leaves. During that night, he went to a party that Jameson told him to go to take pictures of his son, the astronaut. Also, am I the only one who find it creepy that this lady calls Son the astronaut delicious? Because I'm a little weirded out by that. Peter sees MJ going out with Son the astronaut, which led Peter to try poetry on her, which failed, and then things get worse when Harry gets angry at Peter and starts slapping him for not turning into Spider-Man. And worse, MJ agrees to marry Son the astronaut to marry him. Which after that, he starts swinging around the city of Spider-Man and starts losing his powers again. Goes sees a cool doctor and tells him that he's Spider-Man in his dream, and saying that he's losing his powers, and the doctor suggests that he has to make a choice, and he sees a goat. And then he has a vision of seeing Uncle Ben and telling him that he's Spider-Man no more. Which the thing about this movie is that this movie also adapted to this one comic called Spider-Man No More, where Peter gives up being Spider-Man and decided to do normal life, and even recreating that one page in the comic where Peter throws away his Spider-Man suit in the trash and walks away. After that, we cut to Peter having a normal life, having his glasses again, doing school, and doing normal life stuff, and even going to MJ's plays again. Interesting how this is showing the advantages and disadvantages of him being Peter Parker. The advantage part is that he has to go to school, do his stuff and everything, but at the same time, he cannot get what he wants, like being with MJ. And he can't save people anymore because he's not Spider-Man anymore. But Jameson found out Spider-Man quit. He is very thrilled, but one of them wasn't, and was sad, and apparently crime rise up to 75%. Even everybody from the Spider-Verse couldn't make that big a difference. Quoted from the Nostalgia Critic from his review. After Peter and Aunt May went to go visit Uncle Ben's grave, Peter tells the truth to Aunt May on what happened during that night. Uncle Ben died, and which led both of them to being sad, and Aunt May then started giving him the silent treatment and walked away. He's also Spider-Man, so it's a happy ending for him. After that, Doc Ock went to go see Harry and wants so much tritium. Harry said no, but then Ock threatened Harry's life, and Harry told him to find Spider-Man for him and look for Peter. After that, Peter sees a building on fire and a child being trapped in there. Peter went to go save the child, but apparently someone has been got trapped in the fire, and it made him realize that if he was Spider-Man, he could have saved lots more lives than just one, which made him reflect on if he doesn't deserve having a normal life or anything he wanted in a normal life. Peter went to go see Aunt May and sees Aunt May is now selling her house and giving away all her things away. And she starts making a speech about what it means to be a hero, and it's also clearly obvious that she already figured out that Peter's Spider-Man. After that, Peter went on top of the roof to try to see if he got his powers back by trying to jump over to another roof. And at the same, while he was running, he then gives a disturbing O face. Well, after he starts jumping off and try to get to the building, he fell down and broke his back. He broke his back onto the ground, and just left with his back being broken. Oh, his back! No, his back. Peter goes sees MJ in the cafe, start talking, and Peter saying that he doesn't want to be with MJ because reasons. So, but then Ox threw a car at them, which activated Peter's spidey senses. When Harry told him to don't hurt Peter, he meant throw a car at him. What would happen if he didn't have his powers? He would have been crushed. Doc Ock tells Peter to go find Spider-Man, and he kidnaps Mary Jane because they always want to make Mary Jane the damsel in distress. And then Peter got his powers back and got his suit back and go out to stop Doc Ock and fight him. Which leads to one of the best fighting scenes ever in the movies, the fight scene in the train, which is very awesome. Two fighting, and then Spider-Man try to stop the train from derailing off by using his webs, while also making the most memeable faces ever with the webs, which also made him pass out from all that. And the passengers, for some reason, want to keep his identity a secret, since kind of unrealistic when you think about it, because they would have immediately put up their phones and take pictures of him and videos, and they would have revealed his identity to the entire world, but they decided not to, so that's nice. Doc Ock came back, took Knockout Spider-Man, and took him to Harry, which ended up leading to Harry taking his mask off and finding out who he was, and tells where Ock went. And another thing to point out is that why didn't Peter just made up a lie when he got his mask when they took his mask off? Couldn't he just say that he couldn't tell where Spider-Man is, so he put him in the spider suit and say that he's Spider-Man, so he can have to treat him? That way you could have saved two subplots for movie 3. Spider-Man found Doc Ock and MJ. He beats Doc Ock senseless, saved MJ, and then he went to Doc Ock to help him destroy the machine. But then Otto grabbed him by the throat, and then he got teleported away into another universe with a different Spider-Man and fought that Spider-Man. Nah, I'm just kidding. He was still choking him, and then Peter did the speech of tells him to give it up, and then Otto tells the arms to listen to him, which they start to do, and Otto decided to sacrifice himself by getting himself drowned into the river with his machine. Peter revealed his identity to MJ, saved her, and tells her that Spider-Man will always have enemies. And after that, Harry starts seeing his dad in the mirror, saying that he's alive in him, telling him to avenge him. Well, Harry said no because he doesn't want to kill his best friend. But after he threw the sword into the mirror, he found the Goblin's lair and find things that he could possibly destroy Spider-Man, and that is Sony's plans for the sequel. Quoted from the Nostalgia Critic. MJ's wedding came in, but she left her cutting fiance and decided to go with Peter. And another thing, we also get a Punisher cameo in this movie. But anyway, MJ doesn't care about the consequences that could happen if he becomes Spider-Man's girlfriend, and she wants to face the challenges. Which they were now both happy. They share a kiss, and and then MJ says, "Go get him, Tiger," to Peter, and then and then have a happy ending of Peter swinging into the city to fight crime, and ended the movie with a concerned MJ, and that leads to the end of Spider-Man 2, and we're gonna go into Spider-Man 3. We'll do that later. Discuss all the good things about this movie, starting with the action. The action in this movie is great, like from the bank scene, like from the robbing bank, and obviously the fighting train scene. That's like the best ever. Some of the action in the movie aged well and didn't age well, because I can see some very obvious CGI in this movie, like really obvious, that did not age so well in 2004 and to here. I like the story of the movie where Peter struggles on balancing both different lives, being Peter Parker and Spider-Man, and then decides to quit Spider-Man and focus on being Peter Parker, but he struggles in that one as well, and decides to go back to being Spider-Man, and all of that. Well, focusing on his normal life and his superhero life. That's it. There's a lot of deleted scenes in this movie, like Jameson putting on the Spider-Man suit, and MJ talking about her reasons on why she wants to marry Sun the astronaut, and more dialogue of Peter and Harry talking about Spider-Man and also singing happy birthday to him in his birthday party, and some other deleted scenes I can't try to think of. Oh, and there's also a more longer version of the fights, the bank fight and the train fights. There's extended cuts of those. So if you want to watch those ones with the deleted scenes, I suggest watching the extended cut of the movie. It's actually a lot better. The extended cuts to movies are always the more better versions of the movies. And the director's cut, especially the director's cut, like Justice League. It is better than the first one, but it still also has those corny lines in the movie, just like from the first one, since this universe is very weird and different than the other universes. The scenes have done a lot better than the first one, with some better CGI in them. Overall, the movie is very good with the stories, the characters, and everything. But even though it's considered as the best Spider-Man movie ever, No Way Home is still the best. It's still the new best Spider-Man movie ever. But I'm gonna give this movie a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Everybody agreed? Yes, absolutely. Of course, we both agreed. Agreed. Totally. Yeah. Certainly. Well, I think that's it for the review. We'll see you guys next time in the next review. Whether it's a movie, animated movie, TV series, video game, or an SML video. Or maybe another pleasure video. We don't know. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.